Yes, we are moving forward now, and there is a forward, and even if it's linear, there is a. You can say we're moving vertical. You can say we're moving down.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
to drill down deeper into the earth is to rise up higher.
exactly.
You must step forward on these understandings. You put your foot one foot in front of the other, and that's as a linear as that may sound, that is a moving forward. You can put your foot back behind you, and you're still moving.
Oh,
You know, but we
I've
want to.
left. Yeah, I left so much. It's almost like a death I was going through with music collaborators, people going different ways. Everything is being reset, and I've also been sad about it, or in the way that I don't know. Um, yeah, so I
Well,
need to meet people
absolutely.
in
Um,
musical. Hello, there you are.
oh, sorry.
No,
I can't see you. I can see your name. That's fine.
yes, it's better to do it like this time.
It's smoother. It does seem smoother.
Yeah.
I'm just curious as to who else is going to come along also, but this is fine.
Yeah.
Um, and so the seal is an understanding that you get going right away. Oh,
Yeah, good.
Hi, Lynn. Good to see you. Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Yes, Vera.
Do you have the opportunity to video me and then unmute that if it wouldn't go and put back to audio? Is that you who are doing this on your Zoom page?
Yes, I'm doing it I'm hosting it, so I'm recording now, and so it records your audio.
No, I was just thinking about Lynn. She hasn't seen how I look like.
No,
My face.
it's always worth it to introduce yourself. I would say this is the place to do it. Would you like to turn your camera on for a moment?
Yeah, is it me doing that or you? Oh, it's me. Okay.
You.
Okay. You can try. Otherwise, I unmute it if it's disturbing.
You're not,
hello, Lynn.
You're not disturbing. What do you mean?
No, I mean the connection last time was lousy.
Oh, right.
They're doing construction work. Yeah, and I felt, yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, the video slows it down.
Okay, I see. Yeah, you've and it seems to be working smooth now, but I can see that it still just blurs a little bit with this from signal. So perhaps you can stop in and visit every other few minutes.
When there's conversation, perhaps.
Yeah, good idea.
Between.
Good idea. How are you, Lynn?
I am well, thank you. Interesting week, been practicing the login.
Nice.
I do have a question, but I don't know if you would like me to wait to see, if more people join us, that you would have a response that you could share with everyone.
Right. Well, let's give it a little bit after I logged us in.
Okay.
And I believe Dahi is on the road. Jackie is on the road also. They're out traveling. And Vera is here. You're here. Yes, everyone's got a busy full schedule, so they've been working with the videos lately.
One of your students, she may even listen on the replay, Samadhi Ruiz.
Ah, yes, Samadhi Ruiz, yes.
Yeah, she's teaching a shamanism class, and she used the login on one of the guided journeys.
Oh, yes, she's, I sealed Samadhi in person on my way through. Phoenix, and I've done some workshops there, and she's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Good class.
Yes, she works the physician's assistant. I think she's still a physician's assistant. Very knowledgeable. Well, I think people are on the road, so let me log us in, and then we can. I would love to hear the story, the question that you had, and then we'll speak to that. So, if you'd like to remain with us on the video, Vera, I will. We go into stillness for the moment and log in.
Yes, I think I stopped the video and just are on audio.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Well, we are here at this moment in the sacred breath, in the sacred now. We gather here on the 2.5 transference of energy through the technologies, through the lens, the ego lens of the technology, and we are understanding that as we are here in the stillness, in the sacred now, that our technology that has come forth enables the transference of energy in a very powerful way. And so as we are transferring energy here through the eagle eye of the technology, the eagle's eye of the technology, I was speaking to this slogan. Tihei Mori Ora, grateful for the breath. Ite ingoa, in the name of Te Whaia, Te Tama, Te Matua, Te Wairua Tapu. Ite ingoa, in the name of Te Tama, the child, Te Matua, the father, Te Whaia, the mother, Te Wairua Tapu, the eternal memory. Ite ingoa, Te Matua, the father, Te Whaia, the mother, Te Tama, the child, Te Wairua Tapu, the eternal memory. And the long breath. Thank you so much for being here on this fifth session, the fifth week. We've made it to the fifth week. It's exciting, and it's been an exciting week, and this has been a blessing, more than a blessing, to share these knowledges and wisdoms of the ancient navigators' protocols with you all here. And we look forward to our final session next week to wrap up the 6 weeks. And so thank you for being here, Lynn, Vera, and all those that will be watching and have been watching these videos, learning from these videos, and committing to cleansing of your home and yourself, as to speak into these divine codes, to speak these words, to speak and give these actions. You are breathing the divine light into the cosmic and into the atmosphere, which gives healing to others. So we thank you for that. Mauri ora. Lynn has a question, please.
I have, last week, I think it was last week, you were mentioning that with the master being sealed, or I'm not sure on the whole process, but you mentioned that you will know yourself, but you will also know whether you're a navigator or a compass. I mean, is that it, navigator or compass or something else, or and what is the difference between the two? And can you give some characteristics of what a navigator would be like? Or
yes. Oh, that's a great question, and I'm glad you caught on that. So I am a navigator, and I'll speak to it this way. When we return to the light, and of course we are light beings here in the now, we are with service to re-enter back into the stone body, back into the matter, for reasons of service, perhaps, for whatever reason. That the entrance back to the child is there's a word we use called, which is uru. Uru means to enter. Now, uru is as you will enter, you will enter into what, who, how, why, when, all of that. Enter. So we are truly our beings of the enter as we enter here. Now, that is to speak to enter into the stone ancestor, or to the matter, the flesh, is to enter into the DNA. So what is entering the DNA? The enter, uru is enter. What enters? The light enters. And so as you come into the matter, it's entering into the DNA. And what is that DNA? So for myself, I am uru ni. And uru ni simply means navigator. The brown skin, the brown eyes, dark eyes. But this is an understanding that we are actually, there is no such thing as brown or white, or how we talk to each other in this existence as, oh, you're a white person, there's a black person, there's yellow, green, that doesn't exist. What does exist is because that's an imprint, that's an ideal. What does exist is DNA. Now, from a fair-skinned person with fair skin, blue eyes, green eyes, red hair, blonde hair, a child of dark skin can enter, and that has been proven, and it is happening now very rapidly, that the fair skins are also producing the dark skinned child. And I don't mean a fair skinned mother and a dark skinned father. I mean a fair skinned mother and a fair skinned father. They are producing the dark skin. That would mean that if you were looking at a dark skinned person, or even a brown skinned person, you cannot call that person brown. You don't know if that person's parents is both from the fair skin. And this is the magic that's happening now. The children that are entering, returning to, when they enter, we're understanding that now they're entering into the DNA and not the color. Yes. So what that means is, uru ni, I am a navigator. There is uru ke'u, the child, or the one who enters with the fair skin, the blonde, the green eyes or blue eyes, blonde hair, red hair, uru ke'u, which means the seer. So the seer has entered. The navigator has entered. And so uru ke'u, in the deeper details of the uru ke'u, who are seers, can also be a compass. In terms of me being a navigator, uru ni, to navigate, uru ke'u, to see or to be the seer. So the seer has entered, the navigator has entered, and then there's the deeper details into the compass that would enter as the seer, and that detail will come through the seal protocol to understand that the light that has entered into the DNA has brought its magic with it, with the light into that DNA. So the seer has entered, the navigator has entered. There is also the urupa. And the urupa means the one who can assist you when you return to leave this plane. Not death. One who assists you, who is by you, near you, to comfort you as you decide to return from this plane and to re-enter into the DNA again. And so there are these varieties of uru, of DNA, enter into the DNA. And they are colorless. Well, not colorless, but you cannot speak to us in color in terms of a white man, brown man, black man. It doesn't work anymore. That absolutely, it didn't work before either. Because you have albinos, right? Now, what do I mean by the navigator and the compass? Well, for instance, you've met online my partner Eve Estelle. her energy through her seal is discovered that she is of the hummingbird skies, which are the heavenly skies. But she is and within her magic is revealed that she is a compass. She is a cosmic, multi-dimensional compass. As we remember, we are light beings. And for myself, my energy as a navigator, it brings the human experience to the understanding as we serve and how we stand in our power. You understand? And so myself also being of the navigator lineage, having entered into the Polynesian ancient navigators, is also part of that DNA, Uru Ni. I entered when I first, and when I entered into this lifetime. And so the compass is the Uru Ke'u, can also be a Uru Ni. It depends, and that is discovered through the seal of what the absolute magic and detail of the essence that you are. Because remember, we are all individuals. Our lights, our essences are all different. We are not one we are all one as light, but we all have our own magic. And that's incredible on the scale of billions of lights, that we are all different.
Yes. But
the DNA gives us a path and a guidance through Uru Ke'u, Uru Ni, Uru Pa, Uru Kai, Uru Kopu, which is the womb. That will reveal the guidance into the magic of your essence. And that comes through in the seal. Does that answer anything? And I can shoot
a little
away.
Bit. Yeah.
Add another question if you feel that I can dial it in more.
I understand Udu but you're talking imprint. Some of that was imprint.
Some of it is.
Yeah. And then it sounds like navigator might be teacher, bringing understanding to the like teach.
Yes.
Okay.
So
compass is.
The compass is sometimes the compass will say, I've got this communication, I don't understand it, but it's showing me this location, these communications are coming. Then the navigator can make sense of that for the compass. It also, the compass...
visionary?
Yeah, like a visionary, but when we are mapping when we are on the ground, working on the ground, because we are on the ground now, we certainly can work from the stars and the mapping of the stars, but on the ground. And so when a compass is on the ground, and they're communicating through the creatures, the trees, nature, you will be ultimately going to those locations. You will be ultimately traveling there to complete what is the understanding. And sometimes a compass doesn't know entirely what the entire understanding is, and a navigator can piece those together for a compass.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's more than navigator and compass then.
Yes.
And sounds like someone that assists a bridge, assists from one phase or dimension to another,
Either, yes.
And there's more than that too?
Absolutely. When the DNA, when they enter the DNA, this is the wonderful understanding that we are so different. Even though we are the light, we have these different essences. So you know that we speak through 6 senses, right? We have six ways of speaking, and some may have a stronger to number 1 and number 4. Some may be stronger at number 2 and number 5. Some may be stronger at all 6. You know what I mean? And so those understandings come through during the seal. But a compass is certainly that, someone who is a communicator, a seer. That's why we say the DNA is Uru Ke'u, and the navigator being Uru Ni, because a seer can be a compass, but also can be very strong in the other senses of speaking.
Can be all 6.
Yeah, it could be all 6. And that's amazing because we have very few, but we do have many. We do have them here. And so Eve is very strong in the sense of communicating seeing the third eye, speaking it, and also two-way communication because she can speak back and forth with the communication and get a reply. You know, and that's a wonderful understanding because you see what this does is it should help you when you are very simply cleansing your home. Like you went through the protocols, Lynn, and you did wonderful. And you had to use whichever senses, because you are a light being, so which senses were strong for you out of the 6? Which ones were strong for you? Hi, Janet. You look a little bit misty there. I'm not sure. Your camera lens is all blurry.
I need to clean it, but I don't have anything here yet to do it.
Well, you're a child of the mist at the moment.
It's been taped for so long, so.
Oh, yeah. That's very smart. Very clever. Yeah. So when you did cleanse your home, Lynn, how did you, aside from going to the tree, what were you getting in your communications as you were moving through the house, moving the energies?
Well, I just felt it through the whole column.
Yes.
Like a dowsing rod. Okay. And then I just felt the swirling here. And then when I went to the tree, it was the sound came at me, but I am a visual person, so yeah. I am imaginative. So I know there's a vision there too.
So that's very clear. Three. So you had the vibration. That's vibration. Then you had audio from the sound, and then you had practical understanding that you were able to get that image in your mind. Okay, this is all connected this way, and that is your sharp mind, the mastership of your mind to confirm what you had just completed. The more you do this, the more the 6 senses can kick in. They'll have varying degrees. They're varying degrees as you keep doing it, and when you do different areas, when you do the land, or when you go to do a cemetery, imagine that, an entire cemetery, an entire burial ground. And this is what I'm talking about. Your senses will sharpen because it's not your anxiety, it's not your nervousness, it's your awareness will sharpen. Your radar, and by the way, that is your 4th eye, which is in the back of your head. It's just above the C4. Yes.
There?
Yes.
Alta major?
Yes, you have an eye back there.
Yeah.
That
I
eye.
worked with that.
Yes. Oh, see, so you can see as well.
Triangulate.
Yes. Absolutely. And that is also part of your compass, a part of a multidimensional compass, the radar. I use it frequently. One of the ways to train that 4th eye is I played sports. I played rugby. I was a rugby player. At sports, certain sports, you don't want to get hurt, but certain sports give you the ability to move, to speak, to communicate, to understand the energy around you. In other words, your force field as you're moving through the game, through the athleticism of it all, to protect yourself and really heighten your energies, and also physically. Now that sport and sports that are like it can enhance your 4th eye, your radar. So what I'm saying is that when you go to do a burial ground with these protocols, it's like that. It's kind of like that that sport where you just heighten, everything goes up, the vibration is raised. You will raise the vibration anyway. You can raise the vibration by doing the haka, which if you've been on the members page, you'll see what the haka is.
Yeah.
And that is one way of raising your vibration. You're challenging those entities on that burial ground or wherever you're working, that you are coming in to send and return them home to the light. And you will stand in that power. If you need to, perhaps you don't need to. Perhaps you can do it in a quiet, a wild, quiet way. Maybe you're a quiet riot.
Is that part of the master program?
Yes, that is part of the master, and so is the seal. This to get sealed is to fully start engaging that side. But see, this course here, and you've been doing it, you have completion because you've been doing it now, and it's wonderful. You've confirmed. What is that cup? Is that cop?
It says coffee, but I drink a lot of water. I like water. I just like drinking water. It feels good. But water in LA is not the cleanest. They add fluoride and all kinds of gunk. I have a zero water filter system, and so when I fill up the water, I use the login on the water.
Nice, nice. So you turn the water.
I'm doing my water.
Yes, turn the water. That is, yes. What I can also offer you is that when you want to upgrade your plumbing, your kitchen sink or your drinking faucets, that you find a piece of greenstone, the zero stone, and you have it, put a hole in it, and then you have it threaded, and you thread it onto your faucet so that the water passes through it.
Oh, okay.
I have a friend of mine, she wired some crystals to her faucet.
Conversation piece, right?
I'm looking at her kitchen sink. She can look what I did. I said, that's great. She just wired the crystal right to, so the water flows over it. But in any case, the master level will bring 7 protocols and how they merge and interact. How you can apply them to interact for the variety of intentions. Now you can dial up your intention. You don't have to, it doesn't necessarily just have to be some generalized intention, because you put in, many of the nuances into your intentions, what you're asking for. But you can apply a protocol, for instance, to directly, with more direct precision. Example, we did a apex pyramid protocol, which is a transmutation. It's not an absolute destruction of structures, be they visible and invisible. It is a transmutation, switching them from negative to positive, because some of those structures, be they physical or invisible, they also serve the child. And because we stand to serve the child, we want to save some things that serve the child and remove that which is not serving, obviously. That's what we do in self-work. But you can do that through this protocol for the financial systems, the corporations, the energies, and all of these structures, government included, and the hive mind is included in this as well. So we delivered that protocol late last year to Area 51. And we actually did it on location in 3 time zones. So I had 18 people in synchronized time code on 3 different zones, one in Maui, here in Pittsburgh at the Door of Fire, and in Switzerland, 4 time zones, and in Phoenix with Samadhi. She was with us on that. And we had 8 people surrounding Area 51. They were on location surrounding it. They formed the base of the pyramid, 1 pair per corner, 4 corners, 8 people, 8 pillars. And they formed the basis of the pyramid surrounding the entire location of Area 51. It was on about 100 square miles. I'm logged in on the login using the mother's vessel on location to code the land. And then from Maui, which is the Angel's Door, as I've spoken to you, this is part of the masterships you'll learn where the doors are. The Angel's Door is Maui, and that is in a place called Iao Valley, which means the Valley of the World. In that Valley of the World is an access to a door. Through that door, I had three people at that door, logging in, pulling the intention in through there to access the apex of the pyramid. So we had the four corners with 8 pillars, and then we had pillars at the door, the Angel's Door, reaching in through the door to raise the center of the pyramid. In other words, to raise the apex up. That's how we entered into Area 51, through that door. And we all went. Well, we also sent the canoe. I sent the celestial canoe. I sent the warriors. Everybody sent what they wanted to send in there to transmute all that was negative on financial. Now, you're seeing some things in a very subtle way changing, including the arrival of Trump. He was also put into that intention. We spoke him into it. We wrote him into it. We wrote the intention and put it right into the pyramid, our pyramid, and I'll speak to that in a minute. And so that is a very powerful protocol known as the Apex Pyramid Transmutation Protocol. There was another one we did called the Bird of Paradise, and you will love this one. You're actually seeing it right now. We actually wrote the intention and we spoke into it on a day where we were delivering the Bird of Paradise protocol to return the jewels and the precious gems that belong to the poor people, that belong to the original owners of it, that were stolen from them and was captured on the crown of the queens and the kings in England, in Britain. So the royal families actually stole the jewels from out of India. They did that. We know they did. Everybody knows that. They did had a war, went and stole everything. And they added that to their crown jewels. Well, they were just sued recently as November. They were being sued by India to return those crown jewels back to the people. We actually put those words right into the intention months before that happened. And we saw this come about. That's the subtleness of it. And so when we saw that, we were, okay, good job, well done. And the Bird of Paradise was beginning to return. It's beginning to return those to the bloodlines. It's a return of the bloodline, a return of pride, dignity, and peace and truth back to the bloodlines of the people that were forced to give up these items. So there's seven very powerful protocols done on multiple time zones.
The crystallized bloodline, the crystallized blood circulation.
And it didn't just mean for India. Absolutely, it's for everyone.
I've been attracted to that pyramid, even before knowing really who you were. Samadhi sent around a notice on Facebook that you were doing this class, and she roughly told me about it and spoke the login before. But when I went to the site, I saw that pyramid, and I felt it.
Very good. That's not a pyramid.
Well, the triangle with the
This is a very interesting diagram. That is a tetrahedron. It's 3 sides, but that you're looking at is the base, yes. And when you look at the spiral that goes up and there's the light, yes, that is the apex of the tetrahedron. But you also, when you're looking at it on the 2 dimensions, you're also looking, when you look at the spiral, that is also the apex. So actually it's vertical, and it looks horizontal because it's on 2 dimension, but it also shows you, if you look at the spiral, it'll show you that it's also the way to the light, which is also vertical. And it's 3 sides. That's why it's 3. Yeah. It's interesting that energy is absolutely the elements, the 3 primaries: land, water, sky. So you see the little circles: mother, child, father, the way to the light, the eternal memory. They also offer you an understanding in the human experience as the primaries of land, water, sky. Fire is not a primary. Fire is a product of land, water, sky. Without land, water, sky, no fire. Absolutely true. And fire is part of the elements, land, of water, sky, earth, and wind. Those are elements of land, water, sky, but they are not the primaries. Land, water, sky is the primary. And it's a way of understanding that through that diagram where you can feel that energy. That's what you're feeling. You're feeling the primary, the first vibration is what I call it. I also sometimes call the first family, the energy of the first family. That's why this is exciting when you're speaking the login. In the human experience of mother, child, father, you are directly speaking to the blueprint vibrations of first vibration. And you can feel it. You now confirm it in doing the cleansing of your heart. And that's amazing. It's amazing. And the masterships, when they come along for you, when you decide the use of the 7 protocols, you will see that the 6th protocol is the seal of the child. When you have mastered the other five, you should be ready to deliver the seal to somebody. And that's a very special moment, because they are entrusting you, either 1, to lay your hands on them, 2, to deliver it over long distance. And when you lay your hands on somebody to do the seal, you're offering them the understanding of their eternal memory through the kidney, the spinal cord, the C7, the crown, the solar plex, and the door of fire, the heart. They're all combined into the seal of the child. But you have your own magic, you see, that you're not channeling externally. You are channeling them internally. And this is when the names come. This is when the names come, their name. And then the understanding that also their DNA, when they entered Urumi, they're a navigator or a seer or one who assists that, who leaves. And then that's when you get to that level of, and then after the seal, the number 7 protocol is called the Union of Angels. The Union of Angels is a new earth matrimony protocol. It's not marriage. It's a union of angels. You can also offer this understanding as a union of yourself to your angel self. And it's a very, we delivered it in May last year at the White Star Mountain, where I gave matrimony to a wonderful light couple who went through the Union of Angels protocol and then we all went through the protocol to marry ourselves to our light being, to remind us. And so,
when you speak of the angel, are you speaking of your solar angel, your angel of presence?
Yes, your light being or your angel self. They're the same. In the human experience, okay, I'll say angel. You are an angel. You are an earth angel. Okay, in the cosmic, you are a light. In energy form, you are light with powerful light magic. And so that's the same. Now, if you were to say Archangel Michael or Saint Germain or Gabriel, those are imprints. And also the word name angel is kind of an imprint. But light is energy. So sometimes we say the union of angels in the human experience is to give guidance to you to come forward.
Wonderful.
Does that help? But also that you return, you kind of, some people are not fully engaged into themselves, do not know who they are. And that's one of the other ways to deliver the seal through the union of angels also. Now, I will speak to this, is that that union of angels protocol is wonderful use at mental hospitals for the psychic therapy. Yes, and so is the seal. They are very, very, it depends on how you can get access to these facilities to offer that protocol to those who are of mental disability or require mental assistance.
Schizophrenics?
Possibly schizophrenics, to absolutely dial in to know, because you're working with their internal energies, not just their mind. See, they have DNA, and their memory is in their DNA, just like you and I. So if you skip all the mind stuff and go straight to the DNA, you'll discover some wonderful memories and understandings of them, and then you may be able to speak it to them, or bring that forward for them in some way to realize, or those who are offering their therapy for them to understand.
DNA, are you talking about like Akashic records?
Deeper than that, not on the universal, but only for personal, I suppose, personal Akashic DNA. But it's in the DNA, in the physical. It's actually in the body. It's not in the cosmic. It is in the cosmic, but it's actually in the body. And that is done through the seal. That understanding is brought forward through the seal. As you will channel the internal of the being, the host, of the person. You're not channeling externally. But remember that when you're channeling internally, you are connected to a light source, which is cosmic. So there is messages that come through. But certainly the majority of it is in the DNA. We carry that through. We bring it when we return and enter into the stone matter. Those memories are brought into the DNA. That's why you're either waking up, you can come in awake, fully engaged in who you are, or you may have to wake up at some stage when somebody's whispered you to sleep or whatever. For whatever reason, you're waking up. And when you're waking up, that means your DNA is beginning to release the memories within you. Not the mind, the body. The body is a recording machine. An absolutely wonderful recording device. An amazing recording device.
Yes.
I know.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I've gone off into all these different tangents.
It's great.
I hope any of it makes sense. It's awfully.
Yeah, I have lots and lots of questions, but it's for me just to bring it together with what I have learned previously in different modalities, and it's making sense, trying to make sense of just all I know and organize it.
Even when we say the word Uru, see, for me being Māori, which simply means children of heaven, I can go even deeper when I let go of that and I speak Uru, when I say the words Uru, because it's also simply means to enter, even though it's in a language that is one step deeper in than Māori. It's to speak the Uru language, and that is the language of the one. Yeah. I saw that. I just saw what you just. Oh, that is the language of the one, which is the language of Uru, which means the language of the enter. Now, it has vibration simply in symbol form. So we can write Uru down in symbol form, hieroglyphs, all of that. You were just referring to the tetrahedron on the website. That energy on there was symbol form, and you got the vibration from it because. Wow, it gives off energy and you can feel it. You communicated it. And that's the Uru language. Yeah. I can give you, there's two, I've created just recently, and I might post it, I created a small phrase in symbols, which simply reads, from the east to the west, from the north to the south. We bring peace. We bring peace. That simple phrase I have written in a symbol form, utilizing the tetrahedron, utilizing the sun and the moon, and then inputting the image of a dove. Yeah, it's incredible. I posted it one time, and everyone was going, I said, please interpret this, if you can interpret what this phrase means in the letter. All I did was post the symbols. I didn't give any meaning. And I got all these wild, crazy ideas that went way out into the cosmos, just from one extreme to the other. And what I was watching for, what I was reading was how your mind is connecting into the ground, the groundwork you're doing. Are you on the ground? Are you here? Are you present? And so what that was a little bit of a test. It was a little bit cheeky of me to do, but because it also, the people that came forward on it were also teachers and proclaimed in the work that they do. Yes, but it was interesting to see how far the extreme would go from left to right. It was like crazy. It was some crazy one. But it was a very simple, and it actually is the lyrics to a song, and it goes like this. If you remember recently, the mothers did the march in Israel. It was the peace march of the mothers. And they wrote a song, Yael Dickelbaum, her name is Yael Dickelbaum. She wrote this song. I liked the song so much, so I took the most important phrase that I thought that I could work with, and I translated it to symbol form. And so it comes out like, it's actually like the song, but it goes from the west to the east, from the north to the south, comes the song of the mothers. Bring them peace, bring them peace. And that simple phrase, I thought, oh, I can write that in simple form. If you understand what north and south and east and west is, and how that represented on the planet and off the planet. So the sun is, yes, the east. Well, what is the moon? What is the west? The west is the moon, right? And it's represented by the waves of the water. So the circle with the waves of water, three waves of the water vibration on the moon inside the circle. And that's because of the tides, yes? The moon and the tides, the sun and the rays. And then the tetrahedron looks like a pyramid, but it's the north, because this planet is built by two tetrahedrons joined at the base. So north facing up, north facing south. And then I wrote it in a linear form from left to right. And input and then put that out there. Can you interpret this phrase? It's an understanding of the knowing of this planet, and truly what is the blueprint of this planet. Two tetrahedrons joined at the base. One half is in the northern hemisphere, so you would just, to draw one half, you would just kind of draw what looks like a pyramid. To draw the south, you would draw the other half of the pyramid facing down, with the apex facing down. That's south. And that was used it's actually used in the future. Those symbols are on future New Earth protocols. It is another language that we're speaking in the future, or we don't even speak.
Yeah.
We don't even speak. We just read minds and we drop symbols. That's a navigator for you.
Yeah.
You know, I like to. And so, I'm sorry, I went off into this thing again. But what I'm speaking towards is when you become the Waikara master, that next level is very important because you become very personal to people, to individuals. You become hands-on, one-on-one, yes, that you're not already one-on-one with whatever it is you do now. But at this level, when these, what I call quantum modalities, that you're able to actually, through these protocols, you are actually doing quantum modalities. You're actually working. Of course, you are now with certain things. But, this is a way to bring the simple understanding that it's protocol, not necessarily ceremony. Because remember, you can get stuck in ceremony. And we have ceremony for birthday. That's great. I like eating cakes. You can have a ceremony for unifying during the moon. That's great. But when it comes to doing the cleansing and the healing work on this planetary level, it is absolutely protocol. So you are in and out and you make it home safe. And there is nothing following you around or following you in or whatever. It's it does sound very clinical and very technical on an engineering or architecture perspective, certainly a navigation chart.
Yes.
But truly it is anyway. Ceremony has also clouded some of that understanding because it's actually very precise.
Yeah, I find ceremony is, you can forget why you're going through the motions. You just do it because you're told to do it. You lose memory of what it's about. Whereas protocols, I agree, it's more practical and safer.
Yes, much safer. Of course, you know, the upgrade with these tools, with the kotahara, the understanding that the kotahara can be used this way, and the green and the zero stone and the turning of the water. Yes, you're going beyond the imprint to the blueprint. Yeah, they're removing the clouds by removing the gray matter, removing the gray areas, the little gray. Janet, is there a question perhaps from? Oh, Vera's raised her hand. Sorry, Vera.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, you've raised your hand. Here. Sorry.
Yeah, it's gone now. But, we are stepping into. I can feel it. It's an enormous longing for this new experience within this light. I have just been still speaking the code, singing the code, and I'm noticing how it charges in the home or in my being. And it's almost like the old is totally obsolete at this point. Am I too extreme here? I sense everything. The basic geometry seems to be so necessary for this next phase where we're stepping into. I've been creating a star tetrahedron. I have a lot of tetrahedrons. They are the first basic structure of energetic templates, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. It is first vibration.
And And how can, because I know what they mean. And then there is a slip out of it into more the Western way of thinking, where the experience is not. So I'm just feeling my cosmic embodiment within my body. The body knows.
Yes, absolutely. That's the DNA structure of the body is a first vibration. It's in crystalline connected into the tetrahedron. Now, it does flourish out into, dodecahedron. It does flourish out into the many dimensions, but it's based on the first vibration of the tetrahedron, the first one. Now, there are those, actually, you'll be surprised, there are those that want to do away with the tetrahedron form. They want to, I don't know how. They have an agenda to this understanding, and they are saying that it's on the way back in. That they want to change the cycle and not even have a cycle. In other words, to end the cycle. That what I've been told and I've heard, and I had a pretty good argument with this understanding, is that they want to end that cycle and create a different geometric. And obviously, this is an interruption. If you can imagine, this is an interruption in the basic form, crystal form of our blueprint, because we are tetrahedron based, we are our blueprint. To not be of that, you are of interrupted DNA. And remember, there are half blueprints and half created, I would say, kind of machine-like on the planet today. There are interrupted DNAs on the planet and have been for a while within our own human experience, not alien, but within our own human, who have been interrupted by whoever you want to call them, whatever you want to call them. And this is the struggle, is that why I always talk about serving the child that enters, is that we also must help the child return. This is the cleansing of the self, the home, the land, the water, and the sky, because they're also being, those that have been forcibly removed from this plane, who are of the invisible, are still on this plane, and they are being attacked, and they are being twisted. Not just to speak to demons or anything like that, but their light has been fractured and been stolen, and they cannot return back to the cycle. And there are many many here in the invisible, but on this plane. Not the invisible in the other dimension where they naturally should be. That natural cycle has been taken away from them. They may have taken it away from themselves, because sometimes they forcibly remove themselves, right? The suicide, whatever reason, it's for whatever reason they didn't make it back to the natural cycle, to return and to re-enter and make a decision. And so that area there is very gray, and those energies are being captured and interrupted. And why I keep saying we serve the child that enters us, we are also to return those lights, be they family members, spirits, ghosts, return them back to the natural cycle so they may enter again in the whole. When they enter the whole again, we return them back to the blueprint so they become whole. That can be done in the 2 feet. It's very difficult if we do not return them to the light, to the cycle of return. It's a cleansing process for them, and we get them back. We get them back into our blueprint form. We're able to take care of them again. That's why I say I serve the child. And that's one of the understandings that I'm with, and what you're speaking to in terms of the tetrahedron base form. And you are feeling these vibrations, and when you look at it or when you work with these codes, it's because you are a blueprint. You are not interrupted. Yeah. I mean,
that goes very deep in me, because I think that has been part of my sadness being on Earth, to not having modalities and meeting mentors, even as a child. And now I'm stepping back into it, and it's a very, very strong commitment in me, and it's almost so strong that sometimes I just back off from it, because I'm not yet embodied in a secure, clear, and knowledgeable, and because I know it's true, and yet I haven't been born into a culture which is not. So I feel like a lost spirit, and I'm also a found spirit. And now I'm hoping, being with you, to reconnect all these parts inside me. Because this is one of my purposes in life.
Yeah, yes.
I'm sorry, I get very deep.
No, you're absolutely correct, and thank you for that sharing, because these protocols offer you the simple the simple ability to cleanse your home. And remember that your home must be the womb. Remember, your home is your womb. It's not necessarily about you being your castle, as they would say. It's your womb. Protect the womb. And then by protecting yourself, and then when you do leave the womb to travel anywhere, that you have protocols with you to protect you or secure you while you're on those journeys. And when people do come to your home, your womb, that they may be coming to you for reasons of learning, as the same reason you came here. And that I would say that would be wonderful if they came to your home for these learnings, because this is a passing of the story and the knowledge and the teachings that they will have modalities to work with. The home is a womb, not just the castle. So keep that in mind.
Is this also transferable without words? Because, or does it need to be spoken to those I encounter, or we all encounter? This knowledge, that's something else that has been a conflict within me.
Master the protocol first. Master the protocol first.
Thank you.
Confirm the cleansing of your home until you can speak to that, and then make your decision to rise to ascend to the master, Waikara master, where you can begin to learn the 7 protocols of the quantum modalities, and then you can say, okay, I'm ready to be able to pass along and teach these things. You can have them in passing in conversation. That's all fine. But until you're able to give the seal of the protocol, the seal of the child, that's when you're able to be a teacher, to give that status of qualification to teach it. Because to get to the seal of the child, you would have to have gone through all of those quantum modalities. At first, it begins here at this very basic form of taking care of your womb. And Lynn has done that, a wonderful job of that. Many are doing that who have heard this story, who've come to this story. Many are doing that and are enjoying their homes like a new home, and you're getting new plumbing and everything. So Lynn's getting new plumbing, and she's got upgrades happening, and that's fantastic. Into this 1-1 that we are in. I'm sorry, Janet. I didn't mean to. If you have a comment or a question or anything to share, I know this seems to be a time of sharing, which is also part of the learning.
I just wanted to say that I got all my things together. I have the Kotahara, the greenstone, and tonight I'm going to do the outside, the inside, and I do have a question on, I have a small little tree in the backyard. It's a juniper.
Ooh.
But I've made friends with I have two tree friends, and it's a little bit away from here, and it's near a stream. One is a sycamore and one is a conifer. And I went to visit them this morning. That's why I was late, sorry. I went to visit them, and I did the protocol to the conifer, and just doing it without, you know, any kind of light bulb or anything. And a hummingbird came and just lingered for a while and was watching me, and then suddenly all the birds became louder. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow clean the house, the outside, and take the light bulb down there to the conifer. Is that okay to do that?
Janet, that is fantastic.
Okay. The juniper is a little young. It's just a little sprout. So, you know.
That's fine. You know, the hummingbird had come to, do you know that whether the hummingbird had a green cloak with a ruby chest?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
very important. Let me explain this. This is very important. You were given the greeting to enter the forest. I think I spoke about that before. That was a greeting given to you to enter the forest. Wonderful. You've been welcomed into the trees or to the forest. And that is because you are speaking the codes, login, and perhaps I can't tell from here, but the geometrics of the formations of your property and so on and so forth have also so much to do with this. Now, the sycamore tree is like the eucalyptus tree. The sycamore tree is like also in the lineage of what's known as a rainbow tree. And there are forms of the eucalyptus tree and their cousins that sometimes they don't come in the form of a eucalyptus, but the rainbow tree can come in also a cousin of the sycamore. It would seem that perhaps you have a rainbow tree on property, why the hummingbird is responding to the call that you put out and replying and offering the hummingbird protocol, which is called the calling of the gates. It's known as the calling of the gates, that you may enter the forest once you've been given the permission by the hummingbird. I very rarely will enter a forest until I've sent a message to the hummingbird, and the hummingbird comes to me physically at the edge of the forest or somewhere physically to hear the song and hear the login, to confirm who I am, and thereby giving the permission to enter. That's very important. That's wonderful. That's awesome. Wow, that's like, man. Now, this is not just random. Understand?
I know.
You don't have a bird feeder out there, do you?
I do on my I have two of them, but down there, that's, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody lives down
So
there.
you're not influencing the arrival or, you know, the visiting. It's absolutely of its own accord. And now, see, these things are special to understand too, because if you have a bird feeder and you're inviting many birds to come and eat at your home, which ones do you know are giving you the greeting? They will just come to eat your food and leave. You know?
Little opportunists.
Yes, because there is that. So I don't have a bird feeder. So when the bird comes, it's absolutely a special reason. I offer that understanding to many because these are things to pay attention to in terms of your energy, to confirm who and what and how you are, whether you're a compass, a navigator, or a seer, or otherwise, of the light being. Yeah, and that's wonderful. Obviously, you are. You all are. Of course, we accept that. That's interesting. So you can, when you go to do, you're going to do the external property. Yes, to break the glass. Place it at the in the ground when you've done the protocol, break the vessel, place it in the ground, and then also go into the home and do the home. Bring that glass outside, also the light bulb. Also place that at the base of the tree, and log into the tree now. It would seem that it's a rainbow tree, so I would expect so much information to both your eyes, left and right, all audible, as well as visual. I mean, you've got the hummingbird coming there, so that's great. Yeah, that's incredible. This is it would seem at this session today, being the 5th session, and thank you for being here, Janet and Lynn and Vera, that this knowledge that we're speaking to in this conversation, whoever watches this session here, there's so much being realized here, and passing forward of confirmations of everything that we've spoken of, since the 1st session to this session, and almost a recap. It's a recap of what you've been doing, a realization of your energies and confirmation of your energies as a light being, and the understanding that you can move towards being a Waikara master. I say Waikara, and Waikara, like I spoke before, means water protector, and that being the child being being water is the eternal memory. And so, in this understanding that we are here today, speaking to these masterships now, that should offer you an insight of how you stand. These confirmations that you're bringing forward should offer you a path to not dissolving everything in the past, but to be able to stand in the way that engages your magic and your energies, that fully engages them. You begin to get to use all six of your communication skills. And right now, yes, you're all spoken to. Each one of you have spoken to the varying degrees of that within yourselves. Vera speaking to the vibration energies, and she feels it, tastes it. You can almost taste it and smell it. Lynn, feeling the vibration, hearing it, and then intelligently, super intelligently, I would add, on a super intelligent level, bring those understandings together to form a visual. That's that confirmation. And Vera experiencing the calling of the gates through the protocol of the hummingbird, offering a further extension into you learning these protocols, things to watch out for, that are not random. These are navigations, and this is also compass work, by the way. It is also part of being utilizing your multidimensional compass and being a navigator. You are all of that. I'm a navigator, but so are you. You are a seer, you are a navigator, and the more that you enhance these six communication sensitivities, the more powerful of a navigator and a compass that you are. The allies, connecting and communicating with the allies, the dragon, sky dragon, water dragon, land dragon, the birds, the thunderbirds, sometimes known as, what I also refer to as the Taniwha. The Taniwha, the name of the Taniwha brings it away from the old energy of serpent and dragon. So we always speak Taniwha, which is a land, water, sky being of dragon energy, but not of serpent. Not of the vertebrae of the reptilian, but of the high energy of the dragon energies, and not necessarily the vertebrae or the serpent, the reptilian.
Yes.
So Taniwha brings it away from that reptilian origin and serpent origin vertebrae into the powerful energy force that it actually is, as the land, water, sky beings. And so that you've been experiencing, you will experiencing some more of this as you communicate further into the login for land, water, sky, self, and home.
Mm.
And thank you for that. So, just to recap, and I will just bring this in the form of the 101, Waikara 101. Individually, if you could please speak the login to me and an intention. Beginning with Lynn.
Intention?
Login and an intention.
Just an intention.
Yes, an intention, something that you've been using since you've been practicing.
Okay. Tihe Moriora, Ite Ingoa, Tafaya, Tatama, Tamatua, Tawadua Tapu. Ite Ingoa, Tatama, Tamatua, Tafaya, Tawadua Tapu. Ite Ingoa, Tamarua, Tafaya, Tatama, Tawadua Tapu. I am in service to bring understanding and conscious creativity, conscious manifestation to all that will listen, to bring joy to all that will radiate, and to bring safety to my family and anyone that enters in my womb. And everyone recognizing who they are and in service to all of that and the divine.
Wonderful. Lynn, fantastic job. Your delivery, the energy and the way you're articulating, you've realized that you can bring the pace at your in your style and your feel, and through the breath, it reveals the power of your internal energy, the power of your conviction. Your conviction is revealed through that long breath. It's how we stand. And then a very revealing energy. Thank you so much. One little addition to that is you can end with one sequence of Itingo te whaia te tamatamatu te wairu tapu.
The first one.
Yeah. And
Okay.
you can cap off there. Now, I would offer that. That's a fun way to complete a cycle, to complete that.
Mm-hmm.
Round it up. Because then when you have it encased that way, it's simpler to remember from the beginning, the middle, and the end. There is a completion, and that offers you. Yeah. So, great job. May I ask Janet, if she?
Yes.
If you could please.
Tihe Moriora, Ite Ingoa, Te Whaia, Te Tama, Te Matua, Te Warua Tapu. Ite Ingoa, Te Tama, Te Matua, Te Whaia, Te Warua Tapu. Ite Ingoa, Te Matua, Te Whaia, Te Tama, Te Warua Tapu. My intent is to bring healing and revelation way of self-consciousness to the planet, to deliver light codes, to connect to nature in a way that I can translate into a language that everyone would understand. This is my intent.
Wonderful. You may also complete with one cycle too, Janet, to complete it. But that's fantastic. That the energy again, your essence is very different, very the same but different. The same light, but the energy levels are wonderful. Your rhythms, both your rhythms, fantastic.
Can I say something?
Yes,
After
please.
you're done. With her login, I was feeling the energy, the first part of it, the energy coming up, the second part, the energy going out, and then the third part, it radiating from the center out instead of just going up and out. It's radiating out.
Pulsing in the pulsing way. Fantastic. I mean, I'm telling you, oh my goodness. There's so much energy just speaking into these two logins here.
Yes.
From here. And we're just speaking. We're having that. That is the first vibration, man. It's incredible. Vera, please, yes.
Yes. Ti hei mauriora, I te ingua, te whea, te tama, te matua, te wairua tapu. I te ingua, te tama, te matua, te whea, te wairua tapu. I te matua, te whea, te tama, te wairua tapu.
Wonderful. Wow. You know what I felt, what I saw, if I may add, and is that it's like I saw the mouth of the taniwha open wide, or the mouth of the dragon.
The flower?
No, the mouth of the dragon.
Yes.
Woo!
I saw like lightning, the zigzag of lightning.
Wow. Light language, symbols, the dragon breath, the dragon. Wow. Amazing rhythm, amazing energy, amazing tempo. And when you get a chance to, Vera, and you begin to move further forward here with you and speak your intention, get an intention to work with, and then
Can I say my intention?
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
I mean, for a second, just a small one.
Yes.
My intention is to remember the sacredness of life that I was born into and uphold it within myself at first, at this point, so I can step into the joy and glory that lives within my DNA.
Thank you so much. Beautiful. Yes, completion of the sequence. May I offer an intention?
Yes.
To all. when you are actually standing, wherever you are standing, whatever location you are, you're because you are there, your DNA is speaking the word intention. It's actually your presence is given the intention that you are here, being present. This is without saying intention, and it can go like this. You do the login, then you begin with, I stand here today in the sacred now. I am here now in the sacred now. I stand here today to speak into this understanding, to offer the understandings, to offer these vibrations, this light and the sound as I stand here today. And then blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Wonderful.
to move you into an area where you can begin to stand. I mean, the intention is an intention. When you're on location, you're going somewhere and you do that login, it's already intended that you are there. But when you say, I stand here now in the sacred breath to bring this sound, this vibration, this light, these understandings, to offer security and protection, to remove the negative and transmute to positive, all of these wonderful follow-ons. That will accelerate your way, one, of standing, two, of offering beautiful creativity to those that may be there with you if you're not alone. And there's also a way of teaching.
Dane?
Yes.
What you just said actually goes within the codes of the principles of the father, the mother, and the child. You were offering, it just came to me in the sacred now.
Yes.
Here now, the power is now, and not to give it away outside, but to hold it in the way of the father and the mother and the child and the protection and the security of the womb and life. So that was a huge revelation for me. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for being here. Thank you all for being present, because this is about being present. And this will just offer you a much more fluid way of speaking your intention without it being so sort of mechanical. Yeah. It has a human experience, but it offers the light and the vibrations to stand. Now, I've often said, I stand in my power for the mother, yes, in the light of father, absolutely, to serve the child that enters. Of course, this is the way, the eternal memory. And when I speak the words, after the login, I stand here in the here and now to be present, not just accounted for, not even that understanding, not to be accounted for my actions, but to stand and deliver of service, is to be without, is to let go of that accountability, to just merely be here and do it and stand and do it, and not have to move into those energy feelings of I have to be accountable for this, I better do this right, or it's kind of like rigid. Water flows, flow with the water, flow with the river, flow with the water, flow with the eternal memory, and it becomes much more fluid, and it almost feels like protocol. Feels like ceremony, but it's so much more fluid, and it's delivered with precision and fine tuning, and without interruptions.
Thank you for that. I have often said that I stand in alignment with God, Goddess, and it is a comfortable way of saying, get into alignment, and this is what I bring to you. And thank you for that. That's a good reminder.
Absolutely. I'm happy to. This is why you're here. you've committed to being here in the presence, and many who are coming to this video over this next few days or this week, who will be coming to this video. I'm happy to bring that forward because you have actually, your questions, your reactions, and your responses have brought this forward. I'll remind you of that. I can bring so many things forward, but we'll end up all over the place. But that's absolutely, and that's a dialing in of this protocol in the very basic 101 form of it. We really want to flow through this and deliver it in a way that is with love, with joy, with laughter, and not so clinical. And we are, it's very funny if you look at the website, the members page, and you see the haka with the group when we were delivering the water blessing.
Yes.
There was so much laughter and fun and joy, and the children were running around. Little Frederick was doing the rhythms, tapping to it, and he had never seen it before. So the vortex was an incredible joy and laughter and protocol for the eternal memory of the water. So thank you for asking these questions. Thank you for making these comments to bring these things forward. Vera, as you go to the stream, you have a stream with the rainbow tree. Deliver a water blessing.
Yes, I do, and I walk. So that's good. So I'm waiting for the crystals, dust,
Yes.
and the seal and the stone, the zero stone.
Yes.
And
deliver that, as well as Janet.
In the sun.
As well as Janet too. I mean, all of you, if you have a stream or a river. Yes.
Yeah.
and that is also one way of, working through the protocols, practicing the login.
Sorry.
It's beautiful to be by the water.
Yes.
I forgot to say that there is a lot of rabbits here in this town where I live. And as I live in the Hea country,
yes.
yes. I'm more kind of tuning into them. And this week and next week, I'm also looking after my daughter's dogs, and he likes to play with them.
Oh.
And there is a shift, and I realized he doesn't want to eat them, or he just wants to play and run as fast with them.
Oh, yes.
I don't let him because but I and I know union in a sense, which I'm and the hair creatures here.
Just so Lynn and Janet can understand this, what Rivera is referring to in the rabbit is that I've completed the map for the 12 creatures of the continents, 12 continents. And Vera lives on the island of the rabbit. We call the island of the rabbit, just like you're on Turtle Island. And she is on the rabbit island. And it's being revealed that the rabbit energies are coming through physically in a very powerful way in Vera's location, because that is that the island we call Hea Motu, which means like a hare or a rabbit, but more to the hare, but rabbit. And it's about the very powerful energies of the hind legs. Yes. Let's go ahead, Lynn.
Good questions. I remember you mentioning that, and I thought you said it was on your website, but I went on the website and I couldn't find that map.
I'm sorry, I'm not quite ready to post it.
Okay, all right.
But I will be putting it on to the members page, because I'll tell you what, it's in a map. I just completed it a couple of days ago. it's taken me a long time to complete that navigation. Yes, Janet?
So how long will these videos be available for?
Oh, they're going to be on the, as long as those are registered and have been through it, you can always have access to it.
Good, good. I like to rewatch everything.
Yes, absolutely. Those who will be coming to it, they got to register to get onto that page. I would ask you not to share it. I'm going to, it's actually in the YouTube format, but I'm getting ready to switch it all into a private video system that's going to be on the website. So it cannot be duplicated.
Okay, I got another question.
Yep.
You mentioned a stream or whatever. What I have near me is the Wash, and it's part of the LA River.
Oh,
I
yes.
live in the foothills, you know, and as it passes through our area down into LA. But when you're doing these protocols I can't get down into the Wash. Do you have to touch the water, or can I bring my own water?
Well, what I've done was in the past, because to complete the water blessing protocol is to break the glass in the water. Now, why? Because you're going to, just the same way as you're going to remove energy from your home, you want to remove it also to assist removing the negative energy out of the water, and not just replacing the vibration, but also removing that's what doesn't serve. And I've done this by, sometimes I'll put the light bulb in a plastic bag and tie it to a string, and then drop it down and get a long stick and just try to hit it. Otherwise, it's too far. If you can't get down in there, and that's okay. Take the glass in a container of water. Do the protocol. Break it there, and then drop the water in the water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right.
Break it there and then drop it in the water.
Without sending the broken glass down into the Wash.
And also, if you do have the greenstone, to have shards to have it crushed
Dust, okay.
into shards, and then send the greenstone in there, the zero stone.
Okay.
Another one too, also, if you feel like, and you have enough kotahara to throw a dash of the kotahara in there. All of the energies helps, but you will feel the confirmation of it. But if you can get to the water, great. If you can't, then that's part of that's the neat part of this protocol, is that you can adapt it. You know, if you're not able to get down, and you can adapt it like that, or go to another area to do it. An area where you can access it. Up to you. That's your decision. Yes, Jenna.
Possibly even in the rain. Have the rain help.
Yes, during the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice. So instead of burying it under the tree, you would put it in the stream?
No. When you complete with the breaking of the opening of the mother's vessel, you have it in a plastic bag. Mm-hmm. Just place it just below the level of the water and break it. Bring it and also bury it on the land.
Oh.
Yeah, at the base of the tree. If no tree, then just into the land. But like I said, if there's a tree there, it's always fun to go and talk to the tree after you've been of service in this way. The tree really, the tree's watching you.
Yeah.
He's watching.
I
think.
Can I ask?
Yes, go ahead, Vera.
Just a short. How can I, in my home, I'm kind of clearing out and refurbishing and doing great things. Shall I just speak the code? Is there a further way that I can? Will it be just by the code and the radiation to keep it clean?
Oh, no.
Until I can do it thoroughly.
Yes, you can still turn water. So turn your water in the spray bottle, log in, and you can still do the protocol without the kotahara, without the other items, and still basically do that. The kotahara are upgrades. They get you they can offer you the perimeter, and they can offer protection down below the house. But the very basic form is to have your light bulb, turn some water, do the protocols, break the light bulb and put that in the ground by the tree. You can do that. I know you have access to the water and pretty sure you have a light bulb.
Yes. You mentioned in the northern hemisphere one would do it and Scandinavia. In the first session you talked about clockwise and counterclockwise with the purification process.
When you're traveling through the home, just to keep that in mind, in your mind, that when you do shepherd all the energies into that area, the lounge or the sitting room, that the energies will be swirling around you, oftentimes in counterclockwise, but certainly in a vortex spiraling around you.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's what I was talking about.
Will the energy, shall I take one room at a time? How do you move it out? Is it by the code?
So as you're going,
it will follow you?
Yeah, as you turn the water, you take, your water is in a spray bottle. So you're spraying, as you're speaking the login, you're speaking the thing with the fire, spray, start at the deepest part of the house and shepherd all the energies out of that room and just keep moving through all the rooms with, with urgency, with immediate flow. And you go into the cupboards, spray in the cupboards, just continually speaking the login, walking through the house, speaking the login. You're going through the kitchen cupboards, you're going through the door of the oven, the microwave, everything. Just go through everything. What feels like negative and heavy energy to you, or you've seen something, or it's come forward and it's yelling and screaming at you, just zap it with the water. Keep pushing it out. It will run away from you. It will absolutely move away from you. Lynn will attest to this understanding that the energy will move away. It's moving away from that light.
So do I spray it with the direction I want the energy to go? I'm more concerned, how do I gather it in one room, the living room, for example?
Once you've started spraying in the room, you want to come in through the door and spray and start moving to your right. If you can feel the energies anywhere, but move to the right and then come around in a circle and push it out the door. Give it the opportunity to exit the door. And then once it's been sprayed in, it won't return back to that room because there's too much light. And then you can continue down the hallway into the next room and so on and so forth. So in that pattern, it seems to be a simple flow. Now, Lynn wanted to speak to what you were talking about.
You can feel when the energy is heavy in an area. Above my husband's computer, he gets very frustrated with his work, and it was very heavy there, and I had to dial up more intention for it to leave, and you just direct it with your intention too. You're wanting it to leave, and your intention is to have it leave. So there is like a natural flow for it to go.
Yeah, it's very simple. All you do is increase the vibration of the login. So you're speaking the login, and if it's still being stubborn and stuck there, you're going to increase the volume of it. You just move it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's without even adding any swear words. Profanity. Yes, and that's, it will fuel that energy because your light will just increase. It's raising the vibration. Imagine what we will be doing at Gettysburg when we go to Gettysburg to cleanse Gettysburg. The energy that we're going to bring in there will be doing the haka there. We're going to raise our vibration level so high. Yes. The entities won't know what's going on. They've been so used to being there on their own for the last few hundred years. we're going to come in there and shock and awe it. So do that, shock and awe it just by raising the volume. And like Janet said, she heard the birds and their volume increased. Their vibration level increased. The volume of the water, when you hear it rushing, it will increase. It'll be at the same tempo, same speed, but it will increase in its audible, in its sonic value. Fantastic. Yes, Vera. Go and you can turn the water, get your spray bottle, get a light bulb, and you can begin to do your home.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
When the kotahara comes, then you can begin to add that to the exterior and to the plumbing. Doesn't matter when. Doesn't matter when you do that. That's always easy to do. We're gone here. Okay, it's time now. So, how was this session? Honestly,
Beautiful.
Very informative. I got my questions answered, and I feel comfortable going forward even more. Look forward to it. I'd say it was a great session.
Thank you so much, all of you. Let me complete our 5th weekend together with a quick login, quick intent, and to give thanks and grateful for your attendance. And in the stillness, I will speak these words. Tihei mauri ora, I te ingoa te whaia te tamatamatu te wairua tapu. Ksa, I te ingoa. Te tamatamatu te whaia te wairua tapu. Ksa, te ingoa. Te matu te whaia te tamata wairua tapu. Ksa, mauri ora. Grateful, so grateful. Thank you so much. I will have this video again by Monday night, and hopefully we'll get to see everybody on the final session of week 6 and complete this 6-week course.
Thank you.
Love to you all. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
See you out there.
Okay.
Yes.